I'm glad I brought. Ooh,
Who has this on their,
Hassani.
oh my goodness.
No, there are no secrets in this room. Okay. Good afternoon. I called the February 4th, 2025 meeting of the Public Art Committee to order at 4:30 exactly. Thank you, people, for punctuality. Awesome. Okay.
It's so that I can be visible.
Because he wants to look at himself.
Yes. Completely narcissistic. Great team.
Okay. Moving on to what we want to keep on the record. The first thing on the record, for those of you in the room, there are Valentine's Day treats over there. There's love through candies and sweets and nothing good for your body except maybe your taste buds. There you go. So thank you all. Thank you, staff. Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, everybody, for making this program work. First on our agenda is the approval of the January 7th, 2025 Public Art Committee meeting minutes. I hope everybody had a chance to review them. Is there a motion? Second? Awesome. Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Great. Minutes pass. Next, we move on to the Reverchon Baseball Field and Park Public Art Project in Council District number 2. I am hoping everybody had a chance to review. My God, I can't speak today. To review the one pager, or actually it was a 2-pager that was sent out. If so, do I have a motion to move this project forward? Second? Great, discussion.
Okay, so.
Yes, thank you.
Because I am catching up during the discussion period.
So, we have just a synopsis in the background of this particular piece on the bus and what it
Yes, thank you for the question.
So we're actually, yes, so we're going to start calling these research and development. So we're really, because that's really what we're doing for these when they're coming for you for this moment. Now, this is brought to us by Parks. So as you probably know, Reverchon has a historic baseball field that has just recently been redone. The very first baseball game in that historic stadium is going to be March 18th. And we are going to be there with community engagement, thanks to our community toolkit and Adriana, we're hoping to create art baseball cards so we can trade them and engage with the community on this in anticipation of there being a project in that location. So using park bond money, this has been kind of starred as a location that we can plan for. So that's kind of where we're headed with this. But additionally, we like this as kind of being a beta of what the intersection of art and sports look like, since we know we're going to have big art and sports things coming down, you know, in the next several months. So does that help? And yeah.
Is it something in addition to, or is it just something like redoing River John Park and we get to be a part of that?
So kind of all of that. So this is part of that overall redo of Rivershawn Park. The designation for that historic baseball diamond, you know, was created and done. I love the fact that Rivershawn was actually named after one of the La Reunion botanists. He was a botanist who was, you know, studying the plants in or whatever, some plants in that area. So there's so much history here. So I'm going to answer your question. And that is, this has been an ongoing park project that we are now having some funding for to kind of speak to that history and community. Did that answer that?
Will this project have multiple arts?
So my hope is that we will, so one single is the plan, that we have, you know, whatever the community feedback is, you know, so I'm like, could it be a turtle playing baseball? Who knows? But the artists will figure that out. So one nice piece.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me online? I'm so sorry. I didn't have my microphone on. Trin, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So if there are no more discussion points or questions, we're going to go ahead and vote on this. All in favor of moving this project forward? Any opposed? Trin, were you in favor or opposed?
In favor.
Thank you. There's a lag, I think, on the screen,
Yes.
so just making sure. Thank you. And no opposition? Oh. Abraham, are you on? His camera is not on, so he cannot be counted until his camera comes on. So if somebody wants to text him, that would be very helpful. I don't have his text. Okay.
Hi, I am
Wait.
on, but I am not on video yet, and I won't be on video for a few more minutes. Apologies.
Okay. We have quorum to vote, so it's fine. Okay, so this project has passed in terms of moving this project forward, and so then we're going to stop for a second and just say we are going to hopefully rename this planning initiation to R&D, but I don't know if there's a formal process we have to go through for that.
I think it makes it clear, you know, the little slide that
Yes.
the slide we use all the time, I think is very confusing about how touches our projects. And I think saying this is research and development, we want to bring this forward. Hopefully we'll bring research and development to you as a list, and so that we can move on, so that it speeds up our timeline.
Development, because, you know, inefficiency makes all the difference in the life. It's a very clear starting that side what we're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, exciting. We're moving on here, and this is a really exciting day here because we get to speak with an artist. Next is the recommendation in support of the artist finalist Carol May for the Kleberg Riley Public Art Project, and she's here.
So I'm going to hand off to our project lead who ran the selection panel, And let's make sure we can get Carol on our screen to talk to y'all about our concept. She's here.
She's here. Yeah, thank you. So January 16, we had our selection panel choosing Carol May's design proposal as a finalist for the Cleaver Riley Public Art piece. So we invited her to present to PAC, and we just want to welcome her. Thank you. Carol, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Let me see.
How about now? Oh, great. Okay, you can hear me now. Is that okay? Everybody hears me?
Yes.
Okay.
And can you see what's on the screen?
I can see what's on the screen. So actually I have the model in back of me on a rotating plate, but this is better, I think. So what you see in front of you is a standalone signature piece for the park. I think it'll be effective because it's 15 feet high and 19 feet long. So it'll certainly be a presence. It also provides amenities. It's approachable. It's a bench. It could easily seat 10 people. And people can walk under the leaves and gather around it. The imagery is based on the agave plant, which is local to your area. And the point of it is that we want it to be a gathering point where people can rest, and it will provide not only seating, but some shade. The leaves in the model are shown as solid, but they'll be made, most of them, out of perforated steel, which allows airflow, but blocks much of the sun. Of course, Texas, on the hottest days, nothing really works except a sprinkler. But on days that are not terribly hot, this will provide some comfort. It's designed to be approachable and welcoming to the entire community. And at this point, I was going to turn the model, but instead, let's look at the images on the right. This shows the piece from various perspectives, various sides, because it is wraparound. And though the main image shows the area that faces the sidewalk, these show the pieces on the right show what will be inside, what people inside the park will see, and what people approaching the piece will see on either side. Any questions?
Hi, Carol. Thank you for this design. I'm wondering, is whatever the coating that will be on this stainless steel, will it be able to cool the steel? Because even though you're saying it's only going to be hot enough so it to be uncomfortable, it's hot all the time here.
Yeah. You know,
And if the heat is hitting the bench, I'm wondering about people sitting on a metal bench if it's not coated with something that will minimize that heat.
well, the bench itself is perforated steel, which we've found has been okay in Texas. Now, I don't know about a cooling coating. We're planning to use a two-part epoxy so that it can be repainted. But I've never heard of a coating you can put on aside from light colors, and the bench is going to be a light color, a very light green. Aside from that, I don't know what can act as a cooling coating. Do you know?
No, that's why I was asking.
No, I've never heard of a product like that. I have to be careful about the color. The darker the color, obviously, the more heat and light it will absorb. So the bench itself is very light. You can't really see that on that, but the value is light and it will be reflective. And again, it's perforated steel, not a solid steel bench, which would be terrible.
So Carol, can you also talk about your background with playground equipment? I think that'll be very helpful.
Oh, well, actually, we started doing interactive exhibits at various children's museums around mostly the New York area. We did, I don't know how many at the Children's Museum in Manhattan. We did work that's still there at the Brooklyn Children's Museum and many other children's museums in the area. Taught us a lot about durability and safety and other things that certainly are very useful when taken into the public art world. We have many actually permanent children's playgrounds still in New York.
Thank you. We want to go to the next slide.
Oh, okay. I didn't know we had a second one. So the area on the right shows the dimensions of the piece. And as you can see, actually, I can't read it, but it's 15 feet high. And the agave leaves have quite a spread and people can walk over them. They're high enough so that they won't hit their heads on them. We hope that it's enough. The piece is not entirely shaded, but it's enough to provide, I think, significant shade. And then over to the right, you see pieces. The one all the way to the left is at Sugarland, which, oh, that is far from you. It's funny because if I had known, I would have put our Louisville pieces in, because I just found out that Louisville is 41 minutes from you, and I'm friends with the art director, the head of public art there, Denise Helbing. Do you know her? And we just made,
Yes, we know her well.
and we just made a date to see each other when I go out to Dallas. I didn't include that in the visuals, but the piece all the way to the left is in Sugarland, and you can see. I don't know if you can enlarge that. It's all perf steel where it touches people, and overhead, and it's quite light, and overhead is a shade structure. It's based on oak leaves. The piece on the upper right is in Aurora, Colorado, and that's a wraparound bench, and also perforated and also light. And the piece all the way down at the bottom, those are just signature pieces. They're not seats. They're entrance markers for a park in Boca Raton.
Does anybody have any additional questions for Carol?
Carol, can you hear me okay?
Can't hear you. Could you repeat? Could the speaker repeat the question? I can hear you.
Yes, they're going to move to a microphone.
Hey, Carol, can you hear me okay?
Now I can.
Wonderful. Hey, I'm noticing about your other pieces that there's a kind of a fauna type of theme to your art, and I just wanted to ask you about your creative process as an artist, and you know, is this a through line for you, or you know, how do you kind of arrive? I know you said for our particular piece, you know, it's because it's a native agave plant. But do you have a fondness for this kind of aesthetic?
Yeah, I often use organic forms, and the local plant forms lend themselves to that. For example, the piece on the right at the bottom, I don't know if you can see it, but the park is called Wildflower Silver Palm Park, and so I use the silver palm as imagery. The Sugarland piece, originally I had sugarcane until I was told that in Sugarland that's really racist. So that was changed. I often do that. Maybe it's because in the beginning of my career 10,000 years ago, I did figures so much. The work has always been soft and organic, and, you know, it's never been hard edge. or based on geometric form. It's just where my leanings are.
It's beautiful work. With the mindfulness about what those pieces.
I can't hear you. Can you speak into the microphone?
So sorry about that. I just wanted to say it's beautiful work. And specifically, I want to thank you for your mindfulness when you're doing your pieces, like what you were saying about the Sugarland piece, and being willing to be flexible and reworking that, so that to make sure that, your art is something that the public can embrace. So very, very beautiful.
I think that's really a personality trait. And maybe the way I grew up, I grew up with I think of one artist in particular. He's a great artist, Richard Serra, who sometimes used to plunk pieces in sites that it was really horrific for the people in the sites, people in the office buildings. I think working with people is very important, and listening to the community is very important, because you want them invested in it. You want them to have a sense of ownership. Just as, forgive me if I'm talking too much, but just as internally in my shop, everybody is called in, and there's a sharing of ideas. It works better, at least for me.
Thank you so much, Carol.
Right. Yes, thank you for being here. And if we have no other questions, we will say goodbye to you for just this few minutes or a few days. And then we are looking forward to working with you and engaging with you and meeting you in person when you are in Dallas.
I'm looking forward to that too. And thank you so much. I'm going to sign off.
Thank you. Thank you. Great. So so now we just need to vote on moving this piece forward. I was going to say something profound, but I had nothing to say. Dear God.
The approval of.
Yes,
The approval of this artist.
so I need somebody to make a motion to approve this.
Oh, it's recommend.
Recommend.
Sorry, I gotta use the right word.
Okay.
I'll recommend it.
I'll recommend, okay.
Cassandra, could you recommend?
Yes, I recommend this project move forward.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, actually, she didn't do it. She didn't do it.
Is she on record?
There's a mic there. Somebody turn on a mic. I please have a recommendation in support of the artist finalist Carol May for the Kleberg Riley Public Art Project in Council District 8.
I recommend it.
Thank you, Cassandra. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Right, we have a first and second. Any other discussion on this piece? Or the artist or the process? Great, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you for coming on camera. Any opposition, any abstention? Great, we get to move this piece forward. Yay.
I do have a question
Yes.
about the recommend versus, like, what's the language we should know?
We can talk about that later, but yes, we have to use the right verbs.
Okay.
Sometimes we recommend, sometimes we approve.
No, it's always recommending.
Motion. That's the thing, is that you don't need a motion for this, but a recommendation, so.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Okay, now we are going to move on to briefings. So I'm going to turn this over to whoever is going to start with briefings. I think.
Yes,
Brad.
Ooh, okay, so I feel like this is kind of the looming thundercloud that we keep talking about, and hopefully it will rain next time. But Guy is going to brief us on the public art collection. We need y'all to review it. Have y'all gotten it yet? Has it come forward?
No.
Okay.
Well, who sent it out yet?
Okay, it's going to be soon.
Oh, Guy's going to talk now.
So, well, right now it's sitting with the city attorney as well, but hopefully we'll get some movement, but we're gonna still we're gonna release it to you guys to review. This it's a lengthy wordy document. But this is the summary, essentially the summary page of it. So what we'll cover is the acceptance of gifts and loans, and all that entails that. Commissioned work, which you guys are already doing, so that's a good thing. Collection management, which is pretty much primarily, well, a big function of my job. And then deaccessioning art, which is probably the one that we don't want to do the most, but there is instances, as we've talked about with Kay Bailey being demolished, obviously there's deaccessioning coming down the pipeline. So, but we've, well, I don't even know when you started working on this, Lynn, but it was a while ago. And then it's been handed off to me to kind of work through this, massage it a little bit more to get through this. But yeah, we'll send it out for you guys for review. Feel free to make notes, ask comments, questions, whatever you have, so that we can try to make this as easy and understandable as possible coming down the pipeline.
And when we send it out, when it is sent out from the office, we'll have a process. We'll tell them the process to provide feedback.
Sure.
Because if you hit reply all, then we're a quorum, and so we don't want to do that. So there will be, I mean, it just will be confusing. So there'll be some kind of process of what we'll ask people to do. We don't know what that is yet, but I have some ideas.
Yeah.
You don't have ideas yet.
And the reason we're bringing this forward is since we have a giant valuable collection, we do want to have procedures that mirror proper procedures for so best practices. So a lot of the content that you will see, the wordiness all came from the American Alliance of Museums. So we're trying to make sure what we're doing is transparent and reviewed, and that it is understandable that we have these documents for this collection. That's it.
Oh, that's it for me too.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Public art year forecast. No, conservation. Oh, sorry. It already moved. Got a big box.
It's got the box around it. So just some updates. Viva La Vida is actually going out for, it's phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is remediation. The contract should be issued hopefully this week. We already have a conservator that's ready to go. And then we will rewrite a scope and send it out for all the conservators for phase 2, which will be kind of a long-term, try to clean it up a little bit more, get some of the natural stuff off of it. There's a tree branch hanging over it. The park, which is not really a park, it's part of streets. Tiny little pocket thing is it's kind of in it needs some help there, a little bit of help. So we're going to work on that. And then we'll also work on getting some signage for this piece as well. Sure.
Just a quick addition. This is Council District 1 request, and the signage that Guy's talking about will include some of the history of the neighborhood. And I think, and I could be wrong, that the original or close to original 7-Eleven is across from this. So we have been asked, Public Art, Guy doesn't actually know this because he was out sick, to lead the community engagement, to talk to the stakeholders around this public art piece, to get that reach and deep and rich history. So that is kind of a new thing that we'll be doing, just to make sure that our locations, our places tell good stories, or tell the story.
Okay, got it. Back to you.
And then this weekend, Saturday morning, we removed On the Wing from Dallas Executive Airport by David Hickman, sorry. Yeah, they're tearing down that old Dallas Executive monolith kind of thing and putting in new signage that's going to meet the signage that Love Field, if you've been to Love Field lately, new signage package there. So we're moved On the Wing down. We took it down and it's in storage right now. It's going out for some conservation work, and then it'll be reinstalled closer to the terminal. They're going to build us a new pedestal or a base there for it. And so it's going to get closer. It's going to have lighting. So it's going to be good. Right now it's in a kind of besides the fire department, who loves it, they get to stare at it every day. But so they were out there with me. Like, so I went and talked to him before we even started work. I'm like, hey, we're taking down the sculpture, but they're excited. Dallas Executive is excited to get it closer. it's actually going to be in a pretty good spot where you'll drive and you'll see the movement of the piece because there is movement involved in it that besides pieces moving, when you move around it, there's movement in it as well. That's really hasn't been utilized as much. So it's exciting times for this. So once we get the conservation work done, then we will reinstall and probably have kind of a fun little party with DEA there.
Public art year forecast, please.
Well, I think this is where I'm going to defer this to the chair report so that we can talk about that then.
Okay, so we'll move on. Next slide, please. Okay. Review of public art donations in relation to the public art collection policy.
So we've been getting some donation requests lately, which is good. So essentially what we did was pulled from the public art ordinance what our responsibilities are about accepting donations. So right now we are still kind of in an impasse because you guys haven't reviewed the document about donations. But we do have some coming down the pipeline, and I just wanted to kind of state, this is the public art ordinance, which has been in existence for a long time. So, but we do have responsibilities for those donations. There's different versions that we can do of donations. Some of them were like the mayor accepted a piece on behalf of the city and was do that, but there's different we can do this, but just be mindful that this is something that we take serious and have responsibilities to accept donations, and that's how the collection was started. Was with donations, including the Henry. So more to come on this later on.
And to add to that, you are our authorizing body. So donations will come to this body, as well as ACAC for review. So we can talk about more about how that donation process works. But I do want to highlight number 3 is that, we want to make sure that we are collecting well, even with our donations, because that's number 3 definitely wants us to listen to Vicky.
Commissioner Meek.
In protocol here. So remember when we did this whole process back when Kay was asking us about how do we vet, what happened with all of that information that was collected and discussed and blah, blah, blah.
Can you tell us what we're referring to here? Explain, because most people are new.
Okay, yes, so of course. So when Kay was here, who was the former public art program manager, it was also during a lot of the Confederate Monument Review. And so we went through a review of the entire collection of the pieces that we wanted to make sure we're still keeping with the mission of the city and the mission of the public art collection. All of those documents we still have. That review for appropriateness still exists and will be triggered by things that are in the collection policy. Did I answer your question?
No, I wanted to know what we're going to do with that information in terms of policy.
So it's been incorporated, that is part and parcel of the review section of the collection policy. So it's embedded in the collection policy so that we, in 20 years are, not going to look back at something that, my example is always blue bonnets on a saw, that we're not going to look at the blue bonnets on the saw and think, wow, that really wasn't what we were supposed to be collecting. So, but it's embedded in the collection policy that you will be seeing soon.
When it gets back from the attorney's office.
Oh, no, we're going to send it out. We're going to send it.
Okay. Are things like maintenance of the donated items, or whether it's, some kind of potential tax write-off for those who donated, are those kind of things addressed in the policy?
So yes, it's also addressed in the cultural policy. So the cultural policy requires that anything that is donated have a maintenance fund associated with it. And we're able to create an agreement. So usually it's 10% of the value of the work that needs to be associated with the donation of any art piece that is coming into the collection, because we want to be good stewards. But if there is an entity that, like a friends group or neighborhood association, that wants to sign a beautification agreement or work with us to be the maintenance folks for that we can adjust. There is a little bit of an adjustment that could be reviewed again by PAC.
And when we finally do get the documents for the actual policy in front of us, are we going to go through the whole thing as a committee and discuss the do's and don'ts, or the what ours, or is that something that it'll be like, hey, this is the policy and learn it?
Yeah, it's pretty much the latter. I mean, you're going to read through it, and if you have questions, we'll put it on the agenda to talk about it. If you have questions that you think need to be addressed specifically in terms of grammar or clarity or whatever, then you can send that back to the team to work on individual questions. But if there are things we think we need to address as an entire committee, then we can talk about those. But I think that this is supposed to be a learning tool. So we'll use it as that, and then we can discuss what, if anything, is not clear. And you also have one-on-one meetings coming up, so. Okay. Are we done with this? Awesome. Awesome. Moving on to updated public art projects. So there are a few different things to go over in the chair report. So in the interest of getting through public art projects a little bit faster and sticking to being cognizant of the time, I've asked the staff when they get to a public art project, if there's no change since last month, we're just going to move to the next one. We know what's going on. Okay? Unless you have a specific question, then stop them. But otherwise, I ask them to move through it. So let's roll. We're talking about the dedication.
Did you want to talk about the dedication?
Well, that was in my notes, but we'll
Let's skip ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna hold on to that. Oh, this to me looks like
It's the wrong thing.
Yeah, okay. So this is chair report. We'll do.
Okay, we'll do chair report. Fantastic. Let's go back. Dedication. For those of you who are at the dedication, Asani, was there anybody else at the dedication? It was fabulous. Like, staff, y'all did a great time. Drummer, we missed you. It was unbelievable. I thought it was fantastic that we had two of the artists there. The community was there. I thought it was festive. The works looked beautiful. Thank you for buying local and supporting local for the food and coffee you guys got. Thanks, S. Thank you, S. And so it was, us, like, you've been on this project forever. So would you like to talk about it? Or can we just give you a round of applause? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, great coverage. Great coverage. So anyhow, we can kind of dig in a little bit more later. There was a beautiful poem written and read by Laura Walters. Carol Walters.
Laura.
Yeah. That I do want. I think somebody said we were going to have her audio, like we were going to have her read it and audio that, which would be fantastic. So we'll get that to make sure everybody can hear that, because I thought that was pretty impactful. So thank you, team, for getting it done and then getting it dedicated. It was amazing. Okay, moving on. One-on-one meetings. So these one-on-one mysterious meetings, we've had 4, I think, so far, and we have 3 tomorrow. And I think the people sitting over there, except for Vicki, you already had yours. The one-on-one meeting.
Central Market.
It was not for you, it's for the commissioners. But it's also for new public art committee chair, public art committee members. So we have 3 tomorrow. You all got an email on that, but they've been really beneficial because you can come with an open mind. The commissioners are asking really varied questions because some of them are more familiar with the process than others. And there's a lot of maybe myths about how the process works. That it doesn't work that way, or where money comes from or whatnot. So bring your questions. I feel like the commissioners are grateful for the time we're spending with them. And I'm hoping they're going to their districts and council people to work through really how public art just doesn't kind of show up. There's a process. And they've been really fun because we've gotten to like have some one-on-one time with people. There's just a lot of them. There's a lot of districts, y'all. So, so are there any questions on that? So after tomorrow, I think we'll be halfway through with these. We'll have 7 more to go after tomorrow. And then finally, what I wanted to do, I don't know if y'all are aware, but Martine and Lynn have presented to the Quality of Life Committee, which is a subcommittee of the City Council. They did it back in August, and they did it again last week, 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And it's really interesting what the difference between when they presented in August and when they presented last week, and kind of how the Quality of Life Committee received them and the questions they had. And one of the really great things that Lynn and her team has done is there was some quality of life questions that you came back with answers. And so I wanted Lynn to walk through not the entire presentation, but kind of some highlights of the presentation and what she is presenting to the City Council, or that subset of the City Council, so you know what is happening at that point.
And I do also want you to know Martina's here, so she can chime in if I get something right or wrong. So one of the things I do want to highlight on this slide, which was presented at Quality of Life, is that we believe that our Arts Month, April, participation in that as public art will be to dedicate the Pleasant Oaks piece, The Family, which is you have seen. So we're actually super excited about this because it's such an interactive piece, and it's got you can sit on it, and it's wonderful. Okay, so moving on. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about is really things that honors we've received, things where people looking into our program have recognized that these are worthy things that we're doing. So, one, as you know, we've gotten this Save Our National Treasure Grant to uncover the murals inside the Tower building. We worked on the exterior, which the images are there. That Garnsey mural with a public-private partnership to get it restored, and then the federal medallions. We did a lot of research trying to figure out what the exact colors were, and we're really proud of that. And so we have that information along with a body of information to move into the interior and uncover these murals that haven't been seen since the 30s. So we're really supposed to be a giant lady in there. We're really excited about it. The other one is on Hallowed Ground, which is the story of the art piece Shadow Lines at Martyrs Park. And Martyrs Park premiered at the Denton Black Film Festival, and we have the link and happy to show it to you. We'd love to see there to be some premiere here so that we can talk about the great work that we're doing. Thank you, Drama, and kind of this piece, how we got of Martyrs Park and this place that was made with this. We also have been nominated for Preservation Dallas Award. I love those. 6 awards. So we're hoping that the Tower building, not an equal number, but side. So here's where our giving conferences, giving lectures, whatever, also doing original research. And so we appreciate all of them. Certainly talking about art in the airport and those visitor experiences, how you feel when you're engaging at art. Do you want to talk about that at all? And then, okay, then, okay, so no, you can't engage with the person who's talking about it, but, and then Drima spoke with Recite again about Martyrs Park at the Society for Experimental Design. Do you want to say anything about that? Okay, no one wants to talk about anything they were talked about. So next slide.
Wait, can you go back? Can you?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that everybody in the room understands when it's, is.
Oh, yes,
That's down
okay.
Cultural plan. Do you know what that means, Jill?
So, yeah, so there, it's all linked up to our strategies. And so, you know, I feel like we're really trying to go hand in glove with these strategies. So it's really clear that the work we're doing is also the work of the city. Like these are the goals that the city has created for us and that we are trying to make sure we're executing against them. Okay, next slide. So one of these, we actually have the first draft of this video piece to talk about the offering. And, you know, this one's definitely embedded in community, telling stories of West Dallas. Next slide. So as I spoke about before, this on hallowed ground documentary is really moving. And so, you know, please, we'll send you the link to watch it. We're also working with a public-private partnership to talk about the celebration of life, the Cancer Survivor Park, to take stories of cancer and create art pieces that will go above the Sky Bridge. So we're working with Baylor Scott and White, with other people. So, and then I just found out, you know, so Rising was broadcast in January and then I guess last Sunday, but we're also doing a screening and having a panel at Baylor University next Wednesday. And apparently it's been widely publicized in Waco. And so I am going down there to be part of the panel because that is what is happening. Next slide. And then,
Oh, yeah. Question about that one.
It's not, just so you know, there's also Make Art with Perk now in a project that's integrating arts and the cancer survivor, breast cancer survivors. So that's something that maybe we can link into.
that's great. So, because one of the things that, I don't know if y'all walked through Cancer Survivor Plaza or Celebration of Life, but you know, it was innovative at the time and the information there is really quite old. And so, you know, we want to make sure that when we're talking about artwork, that we're also providing helpful information to the community about new ways of looking at how you walk. So, you know, thank goodness we have this beautiful map. Guy has been working diligently with GIS. I'm going to actually hand it over to him to talk a little bit about this because this is so much more exciting than a paper map.
The paper map is the kind of a visual hawk, but it's actually, there's layers upon layers that they're building in this GIS map. They're actually, we're going from an old GIS system to a new one, and the new system is it's a lot more intuitive and it's a lot more user friendly, which is exciting. So you can start layering these maps up. The more layers, obviously, the more intense it gets, but so you can also uncheck layers of it too. But the possibilities are literally endless. When we keep finding more maps of things, we can stack them in there. The last one they showed me, they kind of showed me a test run of it about 2 weeks ago. They haven't released it yet. It's still going up their approval process before they officially kind of release it to us. But there's some cool things in there. There's a layer of the map that talks about transportation in your neighborhood. How do you get from point A to point B? Busing, sidewalks, all that stuff. There's a new one which we're starting to just start to roll out some phases about parks and the entrance to these walking, running, hiking trails. And that's one that you can click on that little one and it'll just bring up those. So it's exciting to be able to do this. As I explained to the rest of the public art staff, is that the more layers we can put on that we understand, the more we see stories being told just in the maps themselves that will help us to identify those stories that we're trying to get out into the community to get. But we'll be able to start visualizing ourselves by just layering some of these maps together. So as soon as GIS gets the approval process, we'll be able to roll this out to you guys that you can go look at it. It really is, it's stunning, the background information that's capable out there for all of us. So, yeah.
So next slide. So, and as you know, we've been working on using this community toolkit that Adriana has developed. I cannot tell you how much I love the dot map. And we have cards that have been, used. So we were at the opening of the Council District 2 new grand opening of the new office. And we got to have a lot of our engagement there. The wishing tree, another thing I love. And it is delightful to see the community working with the public art team. So next slide. And that's a slide about the placemaking tool that's really tiny, so you can read that later. Next slide. And that's the end. Do y'all have any questions about where we're headed and what we're trying to do? That was such a big question. How about over those slides?
Yeah.
Over the 5 slides.
I just think it was great that this subset of the city council could hear y'all like 5 months apart and kind of, it was less about the process of public art the second time and more about, hey, like, this is what we've done. Here are some of our accomplishments. This is where we're going. This is how this fits in with the cultural plan. It was pretty awesome. And the feedback from the council people was really nice. Yeah. Oh, is that you next?
I just wanted to share with you guys.
You
And
can have a
I
microphone.
really,
Just so
think
the
it's
people
all-
in the audience are, okay.
We're gonna make sure you have one next time.
yeah, I think a lot of folks showed up. Yeah, a lot of folks showed up. So on the 31st, on January 31st was the Carol Harris Sims National Black Art Competition. And one of the winners is from Atlanta, and I got to know her. She won recognition for her sculpture piece, and she asked, we got to talking. She was like, "What's there to do here in Dallas?" And I really like the map that you guys are working on. I wish something like that was available, but I did send her. I said, if you're just into art, you should check our public art collection. So I sent that to her, and she was very appreciative, and she really liked all of that. And I think that the combination of our public art and things like the map and the history, that kind of thing, I think that'll be a wonderful tool for our city to promote who we are when it comes to arts and culture. And I just wanted to commend all the folks who came way before me for getting us to the point of having that tool, that someone from Atlanta who was in Dallas for the very first time and who is an artist and who is recognized got to appreciate our city through public art. So good job, all you guys.
I just wanted to say that I am really excited about the fact that we're now doing these documentaries because, so much of what is in these pieces is not necessarily evident. And so to have people be able to see, a through line of how the work was conceived, what the work is about, all of that, I think that's brilliant, Lynn. I know that's on your head, so thank you very much.
Thank you. And it's
Education is so
the art
important.
form. Now we have it as a film. Right?
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, and it can go across the world because, somebody can link onto that may never come to Dallas, but, they'll have some information about it. So I love that.
Good job. Good job, team. Awesome. Okay, so if there are no other questions on those 5 slides and 5 slides only, not the whole thing, then we're gonna, we are going to go through projects. So I guess Drama.
I'll go first. Just briefing on Old East Dallas Workyard Park. Our request for qualifications, our open call, is now live on CodaWorks. and accepting submissions until March 7th. And if you'll scroll to the next slide, Emmanuel, that's just kind of an overview of what the landing page looks like. I've had a lot of inquiries from new to us artists, of interested artists into they're interested in submitting their qualifications. So this is very exciting. We, as many of you know, we used Cafe for many years, but CodaWorks is just sort of opening up a door to other artists, and that is fantastic. So yeah, Oldies Dallas RFQ is out in the world receiving submissions. So we'll be having a selection panel probably end of March, early May. All right, next one. We are in for the family, Madeline Wiener at Pleasant Oaks Recreation Center. We are in the just in the midst of foundation construction planning. We're having site meetings and preparing to pour foundation. Probably within the next couple of weeks is what the foundation company is telling us. So we should be having our installation by March 14th, and certainly our dedication for Arts Month in April 2025. Next one. Veterans, the West Dallas Veterans Tribute. We're very excited that it seems to be finding a home at Vickers Park. Our item will be at the park board tomorrow. No, Thursday morning, if it's already passed and been recommended by the Parks Planning and Design Committee, and we will be taking it to full park board approval this Thursday. Got a lot of very excited community stakeholders that are anxiously awaiting the decision of the park board for this project.
And I just want to iterate right there where it says phase site confirmation. Just remember that park board finalizes the site, they approve the site only. That is their job. We're all arts.
Thank you, Len. Yes. Vickers Park in West Dallas. Let's see, next one. Harry Stone, we wrapped up our our initial community engagement phase for this project officially on Saturday, February 1st during Councilmember Moreno's opening of the new offices. But we had a very successful stint of office hours with Adriana and I were out there collecting input from the community as we wrap up our community engagement for this phase. Next up will be the drafting of the call for artists, which we will again publish on CodaWorks. And I think that might be it for mine. Next slide. Yep. Thanks. Any questions? Thanks.
Okay, so we move on to my doggy. I was going to ask you and plead you if anyone has connections to the city attorney's office, because I've been waiting to get the contract from them. So I was ready to bribe any one of you to help with that. But literally before the meeting, I finally got the email from one of our assistant city attorneys that she will expedite it and I should have the contract by the end of the week, which means then the artist's attorney can review it. It can be signed, and then hopefully end of January we can start fabricating. So super excited about that. Then Trinity Strand, so that's the new project we are launching. In the middle of stakeholder meetings, we met with the investors, we met with representatives of the Loop and the Friends of the Trinity Trail. So they all give input. They're going to help me finding suitable venues so that we can launch community engagement there. I have the community survey mostly ready. So with QR codes, I'm going to refine it and tweak it a little bit. And then it's with marketing right now as well to have that approved and push it out so that we can really go once end of February, mid-February, we should be full on with community engagement there and hopefully get some venues to go out into the design district and engage with those business owners, residents, and get the input. I went down there, got you a few new pictures. So this is what it looks like now. It's actually a pretty sad sight. Yep. If you go to the next slide, it gets worse. So you see why we need art down there. So this is on the left is what you're looking at towards the trail. The trail is actually one floor beneath that. So you would go down some steps, but there's really just like barren dirt there. And then if you look out from where we're going to install the sculpture onto Highline, that looks a little bit better. But yeah, we need art there. We need to tidy that whole thing up. And so we're going to have a stakeholder meeting and just meet with everyone out there on site and finalize the location, because we were talking a bit, having it a bit off on that little elevation there. So these are all things that will be finalized, but next step is definitely community engagement. Singing Hills. Singing Hills is singing. So we are complete with round 2 of the artist selection process. We have 3 finalists. One of the finalists declined to do a design proposal for us because she has gotten too busy. That was Blessing Hancock. When I contacted her in October, if she would be willing to accept the invitation, she said yes, of course. And then by the time we were done with the selection process, her contracting year for 2025 is just too full, so she had to decline it for this opportunity. And so we moved the runner-up up there, and the runner-up actually met with me on site. If you go to the next picture, yeah. She flew out and to see the site, so we measured. We have a brand new tool to measure actually footage very nicely and fast and efficiently. So I created a map for the shortlist. And that's the artist that flew out to just see the site. We did some community engagement, spoke to the staff on site and some patrons there. Again, the volleyball team was playing again. The seniors out there are unbeatable. Like every time I go there, they're playing chair volleyball, they're playing basketball. They're just busy people out there. And if you look behind the artist, that little triangle, that is direct line of sight from the senior center's balcony. So when they have their lunches out there, they will see straight onto the public artwork that we're going to put in there. So it's actually, it felt like on vacation. It was one of those balmy, lovely days. It felt really nice out there. It was very quiet. You wouldn't believe that you're in Dallas. So it was like a resort. Next, please. Forest Green. Oh my God, so excited. The RFQ finished literally 4 days ago on January 30th, and I just checked before logging in here. We have 149 applications. 149. That is huge interest. Huge interest. Yeah, see, that's. Yeah, I do think that upping it above the 100,000 made a difference to get more people interested. They're from all over the world, so. Mostly US entries, but we have some from Europe, and yeah, so next step will be to sort pre-qualify, because there's some entries from muralists that will not be qualified. The selection panel is complete, so they have all agreed that we will probably meet January 30, end of February, to do it around 2 and then get our 3 stipend artists who will create a design proposal for us. But I'm excited. There's some very good entries in there. It's going to happen.
These 149 artists, how did so many hear about this opportunity? And is there a way you just like beat the pavement?
Yeah, it's CodaWorks, the platform that I suggested. I did a lot of research. We used to work with Cafe, and when I started with the city, I came already from the public art field. I was a public artist, so I knew where I applied. I knew what the differences are between the platforms. So I really did research and I compared them all. And I knew that CodaWorks is one of 2 platforms, nationally and internationally, that caters purely to public art. They don't do any I don't know, inside art installations, no festivals, just public art. And that's
So
only two.
so is this a potential template or something that we can use on a regular basis to get more artists interested?
We are using it.
Oh, that's
We are
what we're
using-
using.
We're under contract with them. That is what I did all of last year to literally get them under contract. So all our new calls are on there. So,
Bravo to you.
thank you. Yeah. So we're very happy with them. They're also, they're a big but a small outfit. So they have a worldwide international reach, but it's a very small team. And they're very flexible. They're happy to work with us. We're still ironing out some kinks here and there because it's a brand new website for them. They have upgraded their website. So some stuff still, like sometimes I see that there's something missing, like the artist works websites were missing, but it's one email away and they will put it on there for us. And then eventually we will have that template exactly the way we want it. So yeah, very happy with them. And what also helped is I post them on my LinkedIn. When I have a call, I post them on my Facebook. I know a lot of artists and it was Christmas. Artists work over the holidays. Don't underestimate that. That's when they have time and they will apply to these things. So that's how we got 149. Yeah. And that shouldn't be in there anymore. That was what the application form looked like. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, and I think that's it. No, I still have Vickery Branch, but no updates there. Hopefully the park board meeting will get that confirmation.
My turn. Okay, just gonna reiterate Sabine's comment about the city attorney. So if anyone knows anyone to bribe, please let the whole team know.
Not on the record. Yeah, not on the record.
And that was off the record. Anyway, so Peyton's contract is currently with the city attorney. I'm hoping to have it back either by the end of this week or the beginning of next week, and then we're ready to go. She's excited to have a brief community conversation and just present her designs to everyone in the area. So when we start organizing that, I'll let all y'all know as well. You can go to the next slide. Watershed gates. The first set of gates is done. If you go to the next slide, I do believe the pictures will be there. Oh, they're not, but that's okay. I will send you all more pictures. But they're complete. It looks amazing. Both gates are so vibrant. I cannot express what a difference it makes in the area. You know, it's all gray concrete in that little enclave. And if you drive by now, it's just beautiful and green. We do have the next set of gates planned for the next 6 months, the next 4 months. Excuse me, it's February now. And so those are, we hope to get those finished pretty quickly. I know Calcium Projects wants to do a little bit more community engagement for that second set of gates. They have prepped one of the gates, and then the second set, I think we're going to have to ask the water department to spray those out again, just because it's been winter. Crud has accumulated again since they've been prepped previously, so working on that right now. And again, when that community engagement starts up, I'll let y'all know.
Can I add something? So I actually have been meeting with Neil from Calcium Projects on the, and we had a really good discussion with the outgoing general manager, John Spriggins from the South Dallas Culture Center, about community engagement and what they're wanting to do, like a quilt type of thing where, you know, different folks from the community do like different, just add their like quilt ideas. And so I think last time when we had the meeting, their goal was to have like 3 different meetings in 3 different areas of District 7, and to, you know, advertise those and get folks in and to have those engagements. And so they wanted to kind of get those meetings done in the cooler months so that they can be up and running to start painting when things starts getting warmer weather. And it's just very exciting because Calcium Projects seems to really have a passion and want to engage with the community on this effort. And I just want to show my appreciation to them for getting out there and doing the work of doing this because the watershed gates, there's so much history there, good and bad. And I've heard about this, you know, like I think I've said previously, I heard about this, I think back in I want to say 2011, 2012, maybe, that something was supposed to be done with the gates. I didn't think that's something that was going to ever manifest. And so now to be here with you guys and to see these folks engaging in the community and to see this happening and the beautiful work and as being so hands-on with things, it's wonderful. So I just wanted to give that acknowledgement to the committee and to Calcium Project for the work they're doing.
And then just you always loop in the project lead for all that community engagement because we want to track it. So that's really exciting. Thank you.
You can go to the next slide. Oh yes, Botham Jean dedication went very well. I can send around that article from the Dallas Morning News if y'all want it. I think Ashley sent it around, but in case you missed it, we can also get that to y'all as well. But it was fun. It was great. I had a good time. I love Full City Rooster. Great coffee, right in the Cedars. Next one is, you can scroll past all that. Cool. Bonfim Lake Skate Park. We have just finalized the selection panel date. Everything is good to go. It will be on February 10th, which is next Monday, and that's when everyone will meet and select the shortlist from that invitational list. So we are still planning on getting this out by spring. I think that all the candidates are really wonderful, and the panel is really wonderful, so I'm excited to get this off the ground, but no huge updates there, but we are making good progress. And this is where the mural will be. This is a deceptively large structure. I don't know if you can tell, you can't super tell from this, but this is the other side of a skate bowl. So it's called the snake ramp, and it runs that like entire course of the skate park. It's huge. So you could walk in there and skate. I probably wouldn't enter there. But yeah, this is actually facing one of their parking lots, so it's going to be, I think, the one off of Denton Road. So there's going to be a huge parking lot, and then this is kind of going to be an entry point piece. I don't know that people will walk into the actual skate ramp through there, but you can.
See updates on this project. We just met with aviation, and foundation construction will begin in March. Artists are, working on the pieces. I think that next slide. Thank you, Manuel. And that's about it with this project. Thank you. Peter Riley, well, we just got our artist approved. So Carl May from May and Watkins Design from New York will be in contract with the city soon. And we're just excited that you guys had the opportunity to listen to her, and then you approve the piece. Thank you. We can move to the next one. That's it.
No update.
Community engagement, well, you just received the postcards that ongoing, working on just trying to capture the beautiful artwork from our collection, and then creating more educational / arts hands-on activities so people get excited about the collection and the efforts that we're doing at each one of our community engagement efforts. So these are some of the engagements that we have in planning. We just finished office hours with Drema at Harry Stone, and also some informational activities at CM Moreno's new offices at Central Library. But we have many, many more activities that we are planning.
And just one addition, like all the postcards you're seeing are basically lovingly drawn by Adriana. So, I mean, there's no sending off to design. She has worked on all of those herself.
Amazing. You're amazing. Okay, so here we are at the end of this meeting. Before I close the meeting, are there any comments or questions? Anything anybody wants to share? Our next meeting is March 4th, Tuesday, March 4th, so 4 weeks from today. And I will look forward to seeing many of you before then, many of you tomorrow, this side of the room tomorrow at the Meadows Museum. And with that, I close the Public Art Committee meeting on February 4th at 5:43 p.m. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.